we came up with the name first, and then we decided what was going to be in it. And
we had to get the .com name. That was important.
Yes, we bought a domain name. We invested the $10. So the title of the book is Marketing Unmasked, and basically what we were trying to say there was that a lot of small business owners are they don't know what they don't know. And marketing is a very mysterious subject for a lot of small business owners, where they don't know where to start, they don't know what they should be doing, they don't know what they shouldn't be doing, and they don't want to necessarily pay an expert thousands of dollars to tell them those very basic things. And so our idea was that we'd sort of lift the veil a little bit, take off the mask, and give you some real good high-level advice on a lot of different topics, so that you at least know what you're talking about when you go and sit down and try to plan out your marketing initiatives, or when you talk to your when you talk to an agency or a designer or a consultant or someone like that.
I think what surprised us most is that it wasn't as hard to write, because we talk about this stuff every day, and it was really kind of an open letter to our clients in some respects, because we were able to really take the questions that we get. It was almost like answering their questions. So we take the questions that we get from clients on a daily basis, and we put those into chapters, because we get asked questions like, how do I build my brand? What is a brand? A lot of people don't even really know how to define that. So being able to take those questions and kind of answer them in a long format, which is a book, was really made it easier to put the book together, and ultimately, to just write the chapters.
One of the biggest mistakes that small business owners make, especially when it comes to actually executing a marketing plan, is that everybody seems to be looking for the get-rich-quick scheme. They're looking for that silver bullet that's going to solve all their problems, and a lot of people think it'll be a newspaper ad or a magazine ad in their local lifestyle magazine. Search engine optimization is one of those things that a lot of people try to plug in and say, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to pay this guy $400, and all of a sudden I'm going to be first on Google, and the phone's going to ring off the hook. The story always ends with, and the phone's going to ring off the hook. But marketers know that doesn't really happen in the real world.
I think the branding is really important, because I think that when people are starting from scratch, understanding how to build a brand from the very beginning is probably the most important issue that they face. And it's really a challenge, because they don't understand what goes into it. A lot of people think it's just a logo. Some people think it's just a tagline even. It's so much more than that. It's all-encompassing. So if we had to limit ourselves to one or two topics, I would say, branding is really, really important. And then understanding what the new world of social media is like. So, that's a completely different dynamic that we're dealing with.
Stephanie and I work really well together. We think the same way on a lot of things. We think differently on other things, and so her perspective is always really nice. And working with her on our radio show, Gravity Free Radio, has been a terrific experience. And actually, a lot of the content that's in the book, and a lot of the topics that are covered in the book were almost sort of written live on the air on our radio show. And so that back and forth that we have on the air, and the rapport that we've built with our guests, definitely contributed a whole lot to this book.
Well, and it's kind of intimidating for just the layperson. If you're just going into business and you're making golf balls, you may not have practical marketing experience. So you've got to but yet you're an entrepreneur, so you're chief cook and bottle washer. You have to at least have a cursory understanding of what you have to do to get your product to market. And I think that, we cover that. We give you, we tell you where to go for additional advice, but it's definitely a great starting point for people, we think.